What's up, guys? SDSU here playing some more global poker. Hope you guys enjoy the videos so far. And if you guys don't like the videos, it's fine. Um, I think I'm going to keep this format. I really like it. Just kind of going over my thoughts throughout the hand. Um, I watch some of the other YouTubers and they're like, "Oh, this is good for my range. This isn't good for my range." Like, you don't even have a read on the player. How do you know what his range is going to be in a specific spot? Some people like to limp their good hands and bet their bad hands and play a reverse strategy and things like that. So it's just like it's so ridiculous. The first and foremost thing, besides ranges and what you should do in a spot, is reads on players, how they're playing, what's the best strategy against them, and so on. So I think I'm done talking about all basically the popular thing to talk about in these YouTube videos of I should be betting here 30% of the time and this card's really good for his range. It's just I think it's just over blown by people that don't really know how to play poker, aren't winning players, and are regurgitating what the top pros say. It's just kind of ridiculous. So with that being said, let's kind of go over my thoughts. We're going to be playing two tables today of 1-2. We got a reg here, just a standard player. Nothing that he's done has been noticeable besides standard. This guy likes to attack weakness, it looks like. 3-bet me, shoved over my 4-bet versus my min raise, king queen suited, and the guy called my 3-bet check down 3-way pot with turn, brought double mid pair with lots of draw. I think that's supposed to say draws. And again, I don't have the most specific notes as my player pool. Again, it's kind of weird that I have to constantly defend things. And all I hear is just regurgitation of top pros. Well, top pros have really good notes. Like, am I playing a 8-player pool guy? What are you talking about? So, anyway, let's just focus on playing well, making the correct decisions. This guy calls on the button as a short stacker. I think we're typically ahead unless he bets here. I think that kind of looks like an ace. So I'm just gonna let it go. Okay. We might check raise here with the ace of diamonds. Trying to think what I want to raise to here. We got to work in some check raises against these pretty standard players, especially with their low bet frequency or their low sizing bet, high frequency bets. And this just to keep them honest. King 4 suited. This is a pretty aggro guy. We're not going to play back at him unless we have a decent hand. What other points did I really want to talk about? Um, hmm. For 8 suited, it's pretty close. I went ahead and raised, flop the nuts, you know, standard. We're gonna raise a little bit bigger, um, since he either has something to continue with or doesn't. And we just want to start building the pot. With those very like either you have it or don't kind of hands, and you have the nuts, you could go bigger because you're not there. There aren't really many cards where you want to like bet small and flop so that they can hit, and then you kind of size up once they hit that. Um, if that makes sense. I'm not explaining it too well, but the basic principle is they already have an ace. You want to start building the pot. Hopefully they have a good hand already. If they call, they can hit 2 pair. Or if they don't have anything and they hit, you're not going to get much money out of them anyway. So it's kind of theory behind that bet there. If they have a draw, such as a high spade, you're making them pay for it, and so on. So I think the main thing that I want to talk about, though, is just stop regurgitating what top bros say. Start focusing on your own play. Start focusing on how other people are playing and how they're playing back against you. Think through your hands logically, and when you're thinking about them logically, you're not thinking about them in such a theoretical poker sort of way. You're thinking about, okay, what they're doing here makes sense. Okay, what they're doing here doesn't make sense because of their player type. Instead of just being like, oh, what they're doing here doesn't make sense, and you don't even have a read on the player. Like that doesn't even make sense in and of itself. Like, what are you basing your facts off of? So that's another thing I see other people on slash r poker on Reddit. I watch their videos and like, well, this is good for my range, or let's let that go. This is good for my range, or whatever. What he's doing here, he's never doing this here. I'm like, you haven't even told us about the player. You haven't told us his frequencies. You haven't told us what he's done in the past. You're just like playing against a bot or something. Like, doesn't make any, just ridiculous. We're gonna raise up here. We can probably go to 8 against the limper, but sounds fine too. Some people like to raise smaller here. I think raising bigger here though I like that play a little bit better. Let's go ahead and raise that up. This guy's taking a bunch of time, so I think he was contemplating a 3-bet. So if he was contemplating a 3-bet, I think an ace is really likely here. Black topped, I think he has some crap hands here. We're obviously going to go ace 4 as it's towards the bottom of our range. Let's go ahead and check back here. Let's fold that. He bets pretty quick, and I'm just folding queens here. I think they're heavily ace weighted. And I think he for sure has an ace. That's my, not for sure, but he's very likely to have an ace there. So one thing that I want you guys to start incorporating in your play too is timing. tells of your opponents and yourself. Whenever you're playing a hand, even if it's a very simple situation, you know it's an instant call. Take your time, wait a couple more seconds, and then call. Because what's going to happen is when you have like a draw or something a little bit more complex, you will be taking those couple extra seconds, and it will be a little bit easier to read you, um, because you start going into autopilot if you start doing that, and timing tells become very, very real. I mean, even at the highest stakes, um, I've seen timing tells play roles in hundred thousands of dollars of pots. So if it's a really complex situation, for example, and you insta shove or you insta check or do anything and where the board changes dramatically, like yeah, you can already have what you've decided in your mind before that, but I think we're gonna raise up here because he's getting way too aggro. I know we're playing against an aggro guy, but we just need to keep these guys in line. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, just play good poker. Do well with your timing tells. Focus on other people's timing tells. Other than that, you're playing standard. I know that the goal is to figure out what standard is, but you do that through experience, seeing how your limit plays with standard, seeing how, just watching a lot of people play. You'll be able to quickly figure out what standard is, and then you can adjust from there. This is a great spot to re-raise. He's been over aggro. We have a really good hand in position. And he's been folding a bit. We win some money. I've been re-racing him a lot, so we'll probably just call here. I don't really want to bloat this pot up, and these guys have seem to be fairly passive. Obviously, I don't have any notes on them, but yeah, not the worst play in the world either way. Not a good flop for us. We do have a backdoor heart draw, but that's about it. That's we're really wanting to go for. We're not going to bet that. That's a really good card for us. Now we can easily bet and hopefully take down the pot if people don't have anything. And then we hit our 4. He checks back. I think he has like a 9 or something like that, but we have to take our showdown value. He's got kings. That was a very interesting way to play kings. Okay. So, then raise king. So that was really weird play. play to play kings. Obviously, I'm not a fan of the $4 bet pre-flop. I'm not really a fan of the check on the flop. And then on the turn, it's going to be, I mean, he's got a call, but like it's going to be really tough to play against a river bet. Okay. It's going to continuation bet here. It's a pretty good card for us. It's hard to say what he has, but let's go ahead and check it back for a little bit of deception in our play. We also don't want to really get re-raised. I could let him bluff at it. We'll time down a bit. Then we'll time down again, then we'll check. And then we're going to call off. He could easily have a jack here. I think he has like king, queen a lot. Queen, 9. And yeah, just calls ace jack. That's interesting. Called ace jack. Big blind floated. Flop. 2 overs. Half pot. Top pair. Okay. So if you want me to go over that hand a little bit more, let me know. You know, it's very close on a lot of those streets whether I could bet that turn, bet that, but if I do check, then I'm gonna be checking again, calling down. We just went with the deceptive play, and we kind of saved a little bit of money there on accident because he did have a better jack, but I think he, you know, I think we're ahead there most of the time. And we're kind of just balancing our range that we can have top pair when we check back on the turn there. That was just a kind of unfortunate small little cooler. Not much you can do about that. Very interesting that he did just call with ace jack there, though. It's not the worst play in the world, but I wouldn't do it too often. It's not too bad though. Oh wow, would have had the nuts over here, or near nuts. But nobody else had anything anyways, so it didn't matter. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten any interesting spots so far. Let's go ahead and open up another table against this reg, so we can get a little bit more action going here. Let's hold that. I think this is a pretty aggro reg, but pot controls pretty heavily. 5-3 suited here. You know, you could just call it. You could do a lot of different things here. Let's go ahead and just fold. Usually, I mean, that's pretty standard raise. I just think that he's going to play back at me a lot. We're gonna raise pretty quick here again. He calls. We're going to continuation bet. I think we're going to probably check back here with a lot of our hands, and then shove on the over shove if he does bet with like a lot of our over pairs to protect ourselves. What do we have here? High card 8. Okay. Okay. And then I need a bet here pretty large. 105? I think it's a little bit too. Let's check back. 4-3. Okay. It's a pretty interesting spot here. Hmm. Okay, I think we might call this. Didn't raise or re-raise trips on river. Oh my god, he value bet a 9. I did not see that coming. It's a very nice play by him. Well, I played that terribly. I thought that he wasn't going to value bet anything but a 10 there or better, so he owned me. And that was, I mean, I should just be folding that, but that was an interesting hand. I got owned by a reg, as per usual. It's a pretty good flop for us. You bet a 9 on dry board. River. And a 3-bet pot. Oops, timing out while taking notes. Don't want to be doing that. Getting a little spewy over here with 10-6 suited. It's alright. This guy 3-bets a lot, so this really favors my range. That's the difference between playing somebody good and not that great. I didn't really have enough time to think about this, but I probably should have bet smaller. He called pretty quick. That's pretty interesting. We'll just check back. It's a really bad card for us, and I don't think we're going to bluff it. And I think he's going to bet here. Oh. We could lead. Oh, let's just check though. And let's just check back. He does have, oh man, what a nice flush. Let's fold that. Let's call this. Let's wait for a second. Okay, we'll check back again. He didn't bet 2 pair on the river. Really bad. Okay. Go ahead and just call with 5s here. I think we're checking back almost always every single hand. Get squeezed by this guy. That's interesting. 5x. We're calling with our pair and heart. We're checking this. Not much analysis needs to be said. We don't really have anything. And we're checking back again. Just not hitting anything. Oh, another rough day. Well, that's how that goes. Flop gutter. It's a good play by this guy. Can't really call. Okay, let's ISO this guy. Half stacker. Limp folder. Okay. Oh, there's a re-raise. Oh, we'll just go with ace 8 actually. We can raise here. Got a lot of backdoor stuff. We can hit an ace. It's not the best play in the world. And then we're definitely going to be betting on any diamond. And then I think we're betting on any ace here as well. That's not fun. and be wrong a lot. Sixes, any six, 7, 8, flush draw, any ace. Here, splitting ace queen. I don't think he has ace king. I think I have to call here. God damn it. Well, that's nice. Turned our session around. Okay. All right. Just before the 30-minute mark. So, thanks, guys, for tuning in. This will be our last round. Wow. That was a rough hand to play. I think we're folding here. We're definitely folding that. Yeah, I guess the only big misplay here was calling with the ace king. I shouldn't be doing that. There's just so many other hands I could be playing. There's so many other hands that I could still have there, and yeah, I should just let him bluff me there. Re-raise with the ace-6 of diamonds. Not a bad play with all the passives behind me. I think Black Toth is new to the table. I think we need to put it in a small bet here just so we can fold out a lot of different hands. Keep the pot fairly small. And as long as he doesn't re-raise me, we're looking good. That is an extremely good card for our hand. As you know, I don't think that he has us beat too often here. I think we need to bet fairly large. And I'm trying to think of what I can bet here that makes sense. Just go ahead and bet 90. Seven, Jack 8, Jacks 9, 10. That's not fun. He did have to think about it for a while, which doesn't make too much sense. Maybe he has a set. Maybe he has a 7-9. But definitely not what I was looking to see. And he has nothing. What? Overshoved for a bit more. Dude, I don't even know what the hell these people are doing. What? Overshoved for a bit more. When I overbet turn on a super wet board. Horrid player. I don't understand what just happened. Okay, guys. Well, I think we won about, $400, 375. So, good day today. The last 5 minutes here on Global Poker. Hope you guys learned something, and even if you didn't, you can realize how bad the player pool at 200 no limit is, and how bad a regular like myself can also win some money. So even if you didn't learn anything, hopefully it gives you a bit of insight in as to how bad people are at these stakes, and that you can beat it too. All right, so thanks guys for tuning in. SDSU, please, you don't have to subscribe, but definitely just like the video so that I know people want to watch it, and I'll continue to make more of these videos. And if the engagement isn't there, I'll just stop. So it's really up to you. If you want to go ahead and like it, if you want me to keep making these videos, so appreciate that if you do. We'll finish up this. Oh, crap. I did not sit out at that table, unfortunately. We'll just play one more round and then call it a day. This is weird. It's a really bad card for us. A lot of stuff just got there. It's going to be much harder to make him fold out, and we can't really hit anything now that we would feel that we're ahead. Just terrible cards for us. We have to check and give up. Nines is something that I thought he could have, but I think that there's a lot of other hands that he could also have, especially as well as nines with the diamond in it. So that's why I didn't think that a bluff was going to be a good play there, unless we could bluff for a small amount and get him to fold, but I don't know him well enough in order to make that move. So let's sit out here, let's sit out here. And finish the session up. We're just watching now to see how these guys are playing. If Twisto is tanking this long, I think he's gonna. Oh, yeah, he definitely had a jack there or something like that. You can kind of think about it a little bit when a board looks a certain way and they're tanking for a certain amount of time. They're probably going to be a little bit more likely to call. And you just kind of learn that through experience. I know I'm kind of just talking out of my ass, but what you're basically doing while you're watching these hands is trying to predict, what they have, how likely they are to call in a certain spot, even though you don't really know what the cards are. It just gives you a better feel overall for the players you're playing against if you can accurately just make some general assumptions about how they're playing and how likely they are to do something in a certain spot. So that's what you kind of want to do when you are out of the hand, is just pay attention to how they're playing and just play the guessing game of what do you think they have? What do you think they're calling with? What amounts do you think they're going to bet on this type of board, most likely? So we get a raise, a call. He tanks, which is interesting. Instant check back. When he tanks on the flop, it usually means they have, something, especially on this type of flop. I think Ronaldo might have like a 9 in his hand, and he'll bet here. And Randall probably doesn't have anything, so this might be a good spot for Ronaldo to bluff, even if he didn't have anything. And we're wrapping up the session. So thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. I'll make another video tomorrow, and see you then. Take care.